change yourself to fit in. You get a big reaction, so popular. Consumers are looping you. Consumers are looping you. Be yourself, no one else.
Did you have any visages for today's opening?
No, I
sequence?
didn't. No, I genuinely know last
No
week.
dreams?
I honestly did have a dream that I did what I did.
You had a dream?
I had a dream.
Oh, yeah. What, Newcastle would win against?
No, I had it. Well,
Bournemouth.
Well, I had
I noticed you started saying it right.
But I had to practice.
You practiced, but you just all the way, yeah, going.
Wasn't that I was good?
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
Aye. Well, I did have a dream about I had one. Sorry, and I had a dream that I was sitting there, but I was like a news reporter. I was like tapping the paper on that in the dream. Had a suit on that, a little bit.
You're wearing a suit doing this podcast.
Doing this podcast, I sitting there
with some newspaper, like some proggy.
Aye, the wall blank.
Alright.
Just
wing it. So everybody, welcome back to the podcast.
Oh, hello.
I'm back.
So
it's no longer Kris out because we won a game while I was in St James's Park, and I'm really glad that we did because I don't think I could have shown my face on this podcast ever again if not.
Well, I hate to say it, but the comments last week didn't want you back.
And
I've seen a couple like that.
you saw one.
It's better with us, just us two.
You saw one.
Well, I sent that one, was it not?
Well, I sent one as well. So there's at least two.
I thought you might have just shifted venues or something, just not told us where you was going.
I will see it tonight.
Aye.
Oh, I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah, so the comments were quite good. I enjoyed it.
I think I watched half of it, like, and I thought it was alright. Aye, can he for having two?
What half did you not watch? The bits where he was talking?
Yeah, I just kept skipping. No, I didn't know it. I'm not that cruel.
He's like, that lad's dead good, isn't he?
Oh, he's really good. Quite handsome, isn't he?
The 15-second thing on the highway, just skipped it. He should have finally back to me.
Get that Tory pod back on. Right, so Newcastle won another game, back-to-back victory.
Back-to-back wins.
Unbelievable.
When was the last time that happened?
Oh, ye of little faith. You didn't give her any chance, did you?
No, I didn't, did I? No. Probably
I
not.
can't even remember your predictions last week.
I don't think I said it would be like a hammer, and I thought it would be a close game. You know what I mean? But I don't think anyone fancied it.
No, we were saying it was a tough one to call, kind of either way, because of the form that they were on, and the fact that our win it gave were a little bit of confidence that realistically, I think I said a draw realistically, but I think we could.
Because he was really positive. Oh, you're being negative, man. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. What's the score going to be? Draw.
Did I say victory? I think I said when I texted Adam, I think I said 2-0.
I think it was one of them when I said it could have just went either way depending on.
If I had answered me FaceTime, I would have said 2-0.
We tried.
Well, Dad told him to ring us.
Considering your text were like 2 minutes before saying ring us.
What were you doing?
I was in the pub.
Oh, okay.
But do you know, obviously when your phone's on loud, you can feel it vibrating for FaceTime and stuff like that. I was just put on silent to ignore you. They're going to ring you anytime soon.
That's fair enough.
But so
it's the one you had anyway.
Starting lineup, it was the same team which ended the game against Southampton.
No.
Watford. That was the last one I missed. Watford.
Yeah.
So I said beforehand, every single player was from a different nationality. They weren't, because nationalities in countries are different apparently. Someone had to go at us for that. Nationalities represent culture and stuff like that. So the players were from Africa and stuff like that would have the same nationality apparently.
Fucking hell, there's no.
I know. Someone was having a little whinge at that for us.
Picking the bones out of that one.
Every player in the starting 11 was from a different country.
Okay.
Sure, hold on a minute. I'm not that like.
Google it.
Apparently, so who was the player then? Who was the player that?
So it would have been the.
So you tell me your nationality is European?
That's what Google reckons.
Bollocks.
Absolute bollocks.
So nationalities represent culture and stuff like that. So Scotland and Wales would fall under the same bracket.
All right. But is that because it's Great Britain?
Yeah. So the likes of the African player. So there was only one on the pitch anyway, wasn't there? There was only Dion.
I must just dumb it and technically dumb
that's
it.
What it.
Dumb it and
apparently, that's what it means.
Because
the national out of it.
That's wrong.
That's.
Well, if you hit the World Cup, and Wales got further than England, it's not all of a sudden they're not Great Britain. They're Wales.
I didn't make the rules up.
England are at home. You know what I mean?
Someone had to go, and I researched it, and apparently it was right.
Well, very fair enough. I didn't believe it.
Not having that.
Nah, I'm not either. Like,
There was only one person that done it. Everyone else just accepted it. Like,
yeah.
there's always one arsehole though, isn't
To
it?
be fair, I thought
Does he listen to the
when
podcast?
when you did put that out, I was like,
Could be a she. Sorry.
I
Me
thought
too and all that.
Fernandez was Spanish.
He's Argentinian, isn't he?
All right.
Nah, he's Argentine.
I know that now because there was an
Because I
Argentinian
put a flag
flag.
next to it.
But aye, Federico Fernandez, that
And the three
Christ
sons
Spanish
which
to me.
came on were also from different countries.
What,
There you go.
from each other.
Full 14.
Full 14.
Full 14, different countries.
So who was that? Atsu, Ghana. Who else came on?
Hayden, English.
Hayden.
And
Kieran Clark.
Kieran Clark.
Irish.
There you go.
Yeah, fancy
Oh,
that.
that's right. Oh, yeah.
There's a stuff.
Why I never.
God, so
Stat.
so Hayden was the only English player we had.
Oh, well, we've only got him in Shelby and Lascelles.
Cells.
Wow, yeah. That's a fair comment, yeah. Just
Robert
Really
Ellis.
dumb it and Richie. For some reason.
No,
they
they're,
pretend-
they're British, not English.
Richie's Scottish.
They're English.
Richie's
He's
Scottish.
Scottish.
He's
Is he
Scottish.
bollocks?
He's
What
Scottish.
is bollocks? He might play for Scotland. He's not Scottish.
He's Scottish, like.
Bollocks.
He wears a kilt in the kitchen.
See, right. That cannot be right because the Nations League is you
I
play
don't
for
know.
your
I was
nation,
just
so you
going to
play
talk
for your
about this. I
nationality.
don't
Aye,
know.
I'm not giving
The
any away. Move
national
on.
team.
I don't know.
Move on.
I've
Rubbish,
got no
like.
idea, mate.
Nonsense.
Right, so starting 11, like I said, it was a team which
So,
finished the game against Watford.
Were you disappointed when, obviously, they announced that them three weren't playing? Obviously, it was about
So
two
the only
days
one-
before, wasn't it? When
The only one I was bothered about is what I'd said last week is that I would miss Mudo kind of up front, and rightly so after Saturday's performance from.
I wasn't overly bothered. It wasn't. If you had said that, what you said on the podcast last week, if you had said this a couple of weeks ago that these three players were going to be missing, it was going to be the likes of Key
and Shaw,
I wouldn't have
Key and
been.
Shaw coming
I
in.
wouldn't have been worried about Shaw coming in.
Oh, I don't know.
Key
Well, I'd seen him.
probably.
Yeah, but it was one of those things. He's outplayed what we expected so far, hasn't he? So if you had said at the start of the season those were the players that are going to be starting, you'd probably think.
And you're losing your captain. You're losing the cells, who we all love. You know,
We'll get on the cells later on because there's been a few questions sent in about the cells.
Cool.
But with the three players which are coming in, I went in the game quite confident, to be fair.
After last week's performance and the shift that they put in, and that's what we're saying. If they could replicate what they'd done last week, then we're more than happy. And for two of them, it's certainly that's what happened.
I had a.
You had a dream again. So I can say.
No, I just know which one he's trying to say there. There's two of them did. I know which one he's trying to say. I when I read it, I'll be honest, I did kind of. I read it and I was like, oh, like, I wasn't massively disappointed, but I was like, kind of like, shame, like, because, I don't know, sometimes I look at the experience of what Shelby and the Cells have, but I was still quite confident after what I'd seen the week before. I was disappointed by Mutu though, because as I think I said last week, I'd love to see Rondon and him get a chance a few games.
Yeah.
So it was a shame that they only got one half of football before obviously he got injured.
You could tell that Mutu's was probably a little bit more serious than the other ones just by the fact that they subbed off like 30 seconds before half time.
And it just came from
Didn't look like
nowhere.
that.
It didn't look like anything at the time.
But it is what it is. So, but the pleasing thing was obviously Rondon was on. You know what I mean? He hasn't had any injury or anything like that or any problems. So he started, which was a massive boost in our fancy Shaw. So it's all good.
It's 290 minutes now, isn't it?
They started where they'd left off in the previous game. They just hit the ground running again with outstanding performances yet again.
That first 45 minutes was great, like, wasn't it? It was fantastic.
Brilliant. I can't remember. Well, I struggle to remember one under Rafa that's better than that. I do struggle. Like, I mean, you might say championship games, you were scored against Ipswich without even losing the ball, but I'm talking about Premier League opposition.
It was constant, wasn't it?
From
It
start
was
to
absolutely
finish, we were very, very good.
Yeah, well.
But you probably think coming out the back of that win against Watford, you'd expect that, wouldn't you? It's no good sitting back after a win. If you're full of confidence, I think if you're going to sit back, you're going to take all away that confidence, aren't you?
I agree, but obviously if Rafa, it depends on how he sets them up, isn't it? If Rafa tells them to play that way, then they will just sit back.
Yeah.
You know
See,
what I mean?
I totally disagree. You cannot tell me that just by changing a couple of players, Rafa has totally changed the way that they play. I think what has changed our performance is the players that have came into the team and have replaced, and the one player that makes the biggest difference for me is Key.
Yeah.
Not for me, like, no.
Every time he picks up the ball,
He didn't touch the ball for
weekend,
25 minutes in one part of it.
But as soon as he gets the ball, his first thought every single time was either to move forward with the ball or pass the ball forward.
Well, that's exactly what I think of Shaw. I think Shaw's
And again,
head
yeah.
and shoulders above
Well, how many times did
Above
Shaw
anyone.
pick up the ball and actually
He's unreal.
ping it
Aye.
out left,
All the
right,
time.
forward?
Well,
finding
Shaw's
the
not
man?
scared to
Some
pick
of
the
his
ball up and
passes
just
was
drive with it either.
unbelievable.
He's a Rolls Royce.
If he sees a gap, he'll
He's-
just go through
he's-
those strikers and just keep on going.
So calm.
College
honestly.
Gene used to do things like that though, didn't he?
Well, we haven't had anyone as calm
Woodgate?
since
Woodgate
him.
was the same.
He's honestly, he's amazing.
Have we ever been in this situation where we've had the quality of centre backs that we have right now?
No.
Not
Because what we've got
four
first
first
time
time
there.
Yeah.
I
There's
don't-
four that you well,
Can you think of it? I can't honestly even
Not that
go back to
amount.
Keegan.
not when you've got four that you would quite.
Especially when Stephen
happily
Taylor
put
was
in
there for like 54 years.
Well, we had Williamson, Colo, and Taylor for what
God
felt
knows how
like
long.
forever, didn't
Aye.
we? We never seemed to be able to.
They brought in Younger for a little
get
bit, but
on.
that
Aye,
didn't last long.
We really are blessed at that position, like. But Shaw, like you know, like when the Lascelles gets it and plays a long ball.
Well,
It's
he
a
just
long
hits-
ball.
he just
isn't
hits
it?
and
It's a
hopes.
long ball, head down and just has a
Yeah.
go. When Shaw does it, it's
It's
got
a pass.
purpose,
It's
hasn't
a
it?
pass.
It's a pass,
Yeah.
isn't it? And
It's a pass rather than caring.
he's honestly, he's just amazing. Like honestly, I cannot speak.
Him and
highly of
Fernandez are playing really well. You
Fernandez
see
is
them screaming at each other in the first half.
Yes, aye.
So Shaw, I think Shaw fucked up, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, aye.
Defending.
And Fernandez did a
came
very,
in
very
just,
good tackle.
Did he just wipe someone out?
No, well, he
went
won
for
the
a
ball.
corner.
Won the
Yeah.
ball and pulled it out. Yeah, it was a very good tackle.
It was a brilliant
He
tackle.
started screaming at Shaw.
Yeah.
Then they started like face to face, pushing each other a little bit. And I thought, you want to see that though, because that just shows that.
But then Shaw realised he was in the wrong and he patted for
Smacked him on the arse.
Smacked him on the arse.
Soz me.
And you have to. I mean, in fairness, he hasn't played, has he? They haven't even played together. That, so there's going to be the odd time where I think Shaw had come over and covered when really probably didn't have to, which then obviously caused that issue. But
He just missed the ball a bit, didn't he?
he did.
Just missed
I know
the
it's only
bit.
been a handful of games, well, probably since the start of the season that we've seen Fernandez. But him on the pitch on Saturday, he looked like a captain. Because he was controlling
Both of them
that
carry
full
themselves
thing.
very,
They do.
very well.
They do.
They
Really
do.
good,
And the type of players, I know Lascelles is probably similar, and even Lejeune, to a certain extent, but if you're a striker coming up against Fernandez and Shaw, I wouldn't like to be running with the ball with those two coming at us, like.
No,
'Cause
no.
they don't think twice about taking you out. Like,
My only worry is we haven't seen
not
them.
a shit.
We haven't seen them come up against somebody that's maybe big and strong and maybe's will try and push a bit like a Rondon if they come up with like a striker like that. We haven't seen
I think Shaw might struggle,
that side of it yet.
but I think Fernandez will be the opposite. I think Fernandez
Should
will be
be
good.
because he's had plenty of time in
Because I think
England.
there was a
and-
comment last week about Shaw saying that he struggled in the World Cup when he was coming up against strong midfielders. Was it Mitrovic that was up against Shaw? at one
Mitrovic,
point?
he fouled him for the penalty, didn't he?
Yeah. And apparently he does struggle against these big centre forwards.
I
We'll see.
don't know many of them in the league.
There's not, yeah, on the top of your
I
head.
can't tell anyone.
Mid 90s, there's loads.
I'm thinking of who's a big physical striker. I can't tell you. Rondon.
Rondon,
I
aye.
mean, there's not many, but
Carroll if he's fit.
well, that's
Potentially,
missing, isn't he?
the obviously the Southampton strikers that they had, Austin and
Austin's a handful.
what's he called? The other two.
You
that
seen his
scored.
thing, by the way? Apart,
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Did you expect that voice to come out of him?
No,
I knew he had quite a high
it
pitched
was
voice.
amazing, wasn't it? He was obviously getting angry, so sometimes you do raise it, don't you? Know what I mean?
Great
I don't
video.
know.
Absolutely
Certainly
great
some of
video.
those mid to like I don't know, Crouch if he's like them type of players, isn't it? Where a bit more.
I don't-
Crouch even still playing?
No, he doesn't. No.
Nah,
He's got a podcast
He's
and
not
that now. I don't
still-
think he plays anymore.
Well, you might be within the Premier League, isn't
No, I know.
So, like, I'm saying that I don't know. I'm thinking the Premier League, and I don't know anyone that physically is strong. Really, I don't know anybody.
Top of your head,
Lukaku,
Yeah, fair crack. Yeah. Doesn't play, but yeah.
Mitrovic, obviously you've got Fulham coming up soon, but
We'll see. But at
But
this moment in time,
it's really
they're doing
promising.
really well.
Like unbelievably well.
And even Dummett, I've said so many times that I wasn't Dummett's biggest fan, but as each game passes, I like him a little bit more.
Yeah, I do as well.
He's shite at going forward. Don't get us wrong. He's not very confident at going forward.
He's not.
However,
he's still getting there though.
you
and
say
I
that
think he's-
when we changed the formation up. Could you believe it? Could you believe it?
Hey,
When we changed the
and
formation
then he had
up,
a kid. I was sitting there, literally, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, "This is it.
we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
Sorry,
but-
sorry.
He
I was
did
sorry.
look-
That was going on. Start shaking hands. Do some sort of deal.
Because we've talked about it and talked about it for so long.
And he played the formation. And
Oh, your formation.
I even done. Oh, we'll get there in a minute.
Oh, at one point I didn't know what formation we're playing.
Oh, amazing.
We'll get on that at the end of the game,
brilliant,
though.
Brilliant.
So, what was I saying?
So we'll have to get
Dummett.
into the goals. Well,
Dummett,
Dummett, yeah.
Defensively,
Brilliant. Huh?
absolutely fantastic.
Well, we'll come on it now because we were about to talk about it before, weren't we? So the problem that we seem to have on our right hand side, which we spoke about last week as well, we never have that issue on the other side, ever.
Yeah, I
never,
agree.
ever,
I agree.
because we're positioned much better. Now, I know you're going to say Richie's to blame Totally agree. A lot of the times, Richie just wants to come inside and then leaves Yedlin with 2.
Well,
Then
at some points he was left with 3.
Right, but then stand next to them. Then this is what, like, if he's getting left for 2 and 3, go and stand next to them. Then he's still obsessed with pointing as if, but I need to go inside here. And then he's
It
I
does.
don't know
So
why.
you're talking about
He does.
Yedlin's positioning.
Yedlin does come across, but he comes across when they're coming down our left, because obviously the left back will move from the edge of the 18-yard box across. That means the 2 central defenders.
So as soon as he goes to one player,
he's got to
it just
go
brings
across.
another one into
Otherwise,
the
you're
game.
going to leave a massive gap between your right centre half and your right back.
I counted 11 times in the second half where he pointed to. He felt that he had to go and mark this guy. Them had number 11, Charlie Daniels. Just obviously, Eddie Howe's obviously told him Yedlin hasn't got a clue about positioning, so just stay on that. But he did, right?
I'm not having that.
Well, why else has he had that number 11 standing there as a fan? He was standing like a linesman.
If Yedlin's got to Yedlin's got to come and defend, so he's got to go with that back four.
That's what I'm saying. In the second half, he didn't have to do that. He physically, Shaw was looking at the play, and the guy's probably there, I'd say, right? So he's not on him, didn't get us wrong, but he's about there. And Yedlin's still obsessed with, I need to watch this guy. No, he didn't. Stay with the guy that is clearly your man. And we'll get on to how it got better, because of my formation. We'll get on to how it got better. And I'll explain later.
See, I get what you're saying is, yes, he is coming across. However, if he's coming across as the back four, you've got to rely on your right winger to tuck in.
I agree.
Because he comes across and he's in the middle of the park.
I'm not.
Leaves that.
Please believe us, I'm not saying Richie's innocent. He's as guilty as the rest. He constantly comes inside.
There's so many times against that game when they were on the counter attack and he just started drifting towards it. Like
You're talking about pointing there. How many times was Richie just watching a player run past?
Richie's done that since day one.
Pointing a bit instead of pointing.
I agree.
I think Richie does that to try and take the focus off himself by him saying, "Well, I was just telling you to go there," rather than him going and doing it himself.
Exactly, it shouldn't be you pointing and saying go there.
Stephen Taylor used to do that.
He did. Stephen Taylor was the
He
worst.
was the worst at it. He'd
Stephen
always
Taylor
point.
used to run back and back and back, pointing at things like this.
Aye.
Then
You're
just
right.
straight through.
And I honestly think, now looking back at it, and it was really apparent for me on Saturday, is that is definitely why Richie got taken off on Saturday, because he was constantly drifting inside and leaving 2 players for Yedlin every single time. And now looking back, when we've questioned why Richie's gone off, I bet it's the same situation.
Yedlin would be a great player to have if he had the likes of someone like Gutierrez in front of him. Because Gutierrez, for how bad he was at times,
he would always cover your runner. He would always cover your runner.
Tuck inside.
But it's a funny one, because I don't think there's many Richie works hard. I'm not.
No, he does.
I'm not having that. He doesn't work hard.
Absolutely.
But his positioning is poor.
Yeah.
And that's what lets go down and lets him down. But I don't understand how we're not seeing an improvement on it though. Or like how can he not learn then? How is Rafa not telling him? I mean, he stands on it all day. He was doing that again all day.
He was quite getting animated on the weekend. He doesn't normally get that animated.
Yeah. Probably because Richie was keep going inside. But
well, Richie got subbed off and he didn't kick off this time.
no, I also thought he was blown.
He was.
But there was a lot of players on there that were blown.
Kennedy was.
Yeah, is that where you were told that he's often like that?
Yedlin's like that as well, but I think it's because he used so much pace throughout the game.
That was a strange one for me, because Kennedy seemed to go. He looked tired, but he just seemed to go in a bit of a huff that he wasn't getting taken off or the bench, because he kept getting a bit frustrated.
There was loads of
He's
times
done quite a lot this season. Though, looking over the bench.
There was loads of times Dummett had the ball, bless him. So because I thought we were getting a little bit too negative with the ball sometimes and putting pressure on my back four. We were giving it to Dummett when we didn't have to give him it. So anyway, he's looking down the line and Kennedy was literally
right in front of him,
just
wasn't
standing there like that. Anyway. So Dummett just had to smash it down the line.
There's a couple of times we've got throw-ins as well, and Kennedy just back to the ball, just start walking further afield.
So
we're shocking at throw-ins,
Yeah,
absolutely shocking.
I mean, we're a tiny bit better since we've got him up front, because obviously we'll just do Sunday League down the line, and obviously he's good enough to get a flick on. But
Diarmi is the only one that looks for the ball.
Yeah, he is. And ironically, he's probably the poorest on the ball.
Yeah.
So sometimes
first touch shocking.
It's like a wall.
See, that Kennedy's first touch was shocking at times as well. For such a skillful player.
There was a couple of times where his first touch was unreal. There was one where he literally plucked it out of the air.
If it's coming as a cross, down over, yes. But if it's a through ball, his second touch is always a tackle. It's always too heavy.
Yeah, it is. I do like him though.
So there's a chance where he could have went one-on-one with the keeper.
Oh, and he played
his
40.
first touch was really heavy, and I think it was
awful.
the defender just came and cleared it.
Yeah,
Wasn't
that
he?
move was lush now.
Great player. There's a couple of times that
was,
happened.
it really
Great
was.
player.
But we'll probably get onto the good stuff now. The goals there.
The goals, aye.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the goals.
Oh.
So first goal,
First
I
one
thought
was
both of them
that ball from Key. Is that the
No, no,
first
No,
one?
no, it
The
was
second one?
Yedlin set the first goal.
Diarmi.
Diarmi put Yedlin through.
Played the ball. Now, if it hadn't been Yedlin, that was a goal kick. Let's just get that clear.
Pace, yeah.
His
No one else would have got that
pace
ball.
was
No one else.
He just put the burners on, didn't he?
His positioning should be better. He should be back defending, shouldn't he?
But this
No.
You cannot have it both ways.
No. I've sat here weeks ago and said any other club in the country, I believe, would have Yedlin doing that a lot more than what we do. He's best.
He's
at
quite a
going
luxury
that
player,
way.
isn't he?
Well, he is in a way, but he's like a Primark Kyle Walker, isn't
Right,
he?
okay.
That's what he is, eh? He's come on.
Kyle Walker is a
That's
great
harsh,
player.
that.
Nah,
Eh? Kyle Walker's the best in the
Primark Kyle Walker.
He is.
Come on.
He is. Oh, in next version.
That,
that a bit better?
that's a bit of an upgrade.
There we go.
Dad.
How's his phrase?
Probably a dad shop. It's probably a dad shop next, isn't it?
Well, no, but it's better than Primark, isn't it?
Well, all right.
Yeah, buy more, maybe close from Primark the next.
I'll probably do as well. Like, but anyway, cheap. So
You can just buy jumpers from next, I mean, you can buy.
eh,
Just jumpers.
You can
His
just buy
pace
jumpers.
is what we need to rely on more often. I sometimes feel that he doesn't get forward enough. But that goal there, I mean, was unbelievable. It was absolutely unbelievable. His cross was
was
class.
great going forward.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. He should be doing it more. We should allow him to release him to go forward.
But then the more he does that, then the more he's going to get
At
caught
least,
out
yeah.
defensively.
Now,
Because
I'll quickly jump ahead.
Richie should be.
However,
dropping
because
back.
Richie should be dropping in behind him and covering him.
The second half that happened once, where he bombed on. Obviously, of course, he was shattered. He went
Then
over,
he just started walking back and he got the whole
and there was felt like there was 7 players on the side of the field.
Aye.
And but that's going to happen occasionally if you're going to bomb on like that. But
He was in our box for that one, wasn't he?
on that,
Sorry, in
their box.
yeah,
aye.
sorry.
and exactly. So on that one, Diarmi, it was a lovely play though before that as well. We built it up really well, and again, it started from Shaw,
Diarmi just
Thinking about
dinged
going
it through
forward.
2 players. Is that
like just over the top,
Yeah,
like just
yeah,
over the full backs. You know what I mean?
Because there was an acre of space in that, in
Yedlin's
that
ball
corner.
though? This is what we've been crying out for.
yeah.
Balls just cut across the box. Absolutely
Just fizzed it
fantastic.
in.
And even Rondon obviously got saved first time.
Yeah, got a bit of luck there, but
He was so calm when that ball came back to him. He just placed it in the corner, didn't he?
Yeah.
He knew exactly what he was doing. The keeper was already on the deck. No chance of saving that.
That's right.
Absolutely
It's
great
where you've got
finish.
to keep your head and keep calm and actually place it rather than.
thoroughly
Yeah,
deserved as
twat
well.
it, aye.
Thoroughly deserved the lead.
We did, aye.
as well.
100%. 100%.
Really
I don't
did.
think anyone could have it.
No.
A lot of people came out and said our ball were quite bad. I think we made them bad. Like
I don't think they were bad.
It's every time, no man. Every time
First
team
half
wins.
was-
But potentially bad in front of goal. The chances, because they did create chances which they didn't take. But
I thought that the Chava, Fraser, he's good.
Java.
Oh, he's a Chava, him. He is. He's fast, isn't he? He's like a Bellamy, isn't he? He looks like a bit like Shaqiri.
was that
Aye,
little fat one?
little
Fat
blob.
one. Oh, he was an
Aye.
That's him, Chav.
Knob him.
Him. He's fast as out the winnie. He was lightning
he
sometimes.
was
Quick.
trouble like when he
He's
was
the
trouble.
exact same build as Shaqiri, alright.
Aye.
So aye, Primark Shaqiri. Sorry, next one. No,
You can have that one.
Aye, but I thought that goal was absolutely tremendous, but obviously the second
Oh,
one
the second one
was as good as you've
pants,
ever
pants
seen.
were off, shirt was off.
So now we'll get on that ball from Key.
Yeah.
Oh,
That just floated, didn't it?
Unbelievable. Well, in fairness, I've watched it a few times. Rondon does amazing at the start. It comes to him, he chests it, flicks it over our lad's head, gives it to Key.
Yeah.
Key plays a little 5-yard pass, gets it back.
how
full
he,
length to
but
Kennedy.
how he sees that pass to
Well,
Kennedy before.
Well, I don't know. He's in acres of space. Like.
It was so quick
Aye,
though,
but he
wasn't
just
it?
put it, the ball just came to him and immediately he just.
The thing it's
So whether he'd
point
seen
as
it
well, though,
beforehand or from the first ball, and then when he got it back,
What's important with them passes, right? And this is where I will knock Shelby a little bit. Is that when Shelby sometimes plays them passes, they're in the air too long, so it gives the chance for their fullback to just come out.
Yeah.
Keys was like it was a long ball, but it was driven.
yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't have a chance to actually physically get out to Kennedy because it was just at Kennedy. I mean, his first touch wasn't great because it went in the air, but his second one was
brought it down,
bang
just
on.
controlled
it,
that
yeah.
cross.
And when you have a presence in the middle like him, just get it in.
Yeah.
And that's exact. Now Kennedy doesn't normally do that, does he? He likes to get it, do a bloody Cruyff turn, Rabona thing, or whatever. it
Twirl
is.
splits.
But this time, get out his feet, bang, and when it went in, it was as good as I can remember.
that
finish,
header
that header.
was so unbelievable.
That was
That, like if that net wasn't there, that ball is still flying. It's still
It
going.
knocks him out,
It's
isn't it?
like
it was unbelievable, honestly. Like, I think I just kept repeating myself when I was celebrating, going like, "My God!" I just kept saying,
Absolutely
"My."
fantastic.
Word, like,
Fantastic.
I was just like that pass, that cross, that. I'm like,
everything was perfect,
everything
wasn't
about
it?
it was
Pinpoint
just-
perfect. Even the power that he gets in that head there to whack that in the corner was unbelievable. Like,
And you go back,
I can't believe how many times I watched that on Sunday morning when I got, well, I'm saying Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon by the time I got out of bed.
it was as good as you say. I was on Twitter and I just kept watching the GIF. Some guy had like shrunk it down like
Unreal,
30
yeah.
seconds. I just
It's
kept
just
watching it over
beautiful.
and over again. It was perfect. It really
Honestly.
was.
it was
It really
Ferdinand-esque, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, a lot of people were saying it was like Rob Cross to like to Shirase or do you know like to Ferdinand or whatever, you know. But it was.
Well, you know, recently talking, that is probably the best headed finish since we've had Andy Carroll in the team.
Carroll was class.
You know, he used to score a lot of goals like that.
No, I totally agree. Yeah.
But that's what we've been asking for God knows how many seasons now. Balls like that into the box.
And I know he's going to probably throw that drink at us.
I'm probably just about to say
go on
exactly
then. Go on
what
then.
you're about to say. And
go
I
on.
hate myself for doing it, but why didn't we do that when we had Mitrovic there?
Yeah.
It's a fair comment, isn't it? Because obviously we sat there and Rafa says we can't play that way and we're not going to play that way. But then that's exactly what we did. And
It's what we sat here time after
We've
time
done
after
it a
time.
number of times because he had
Now-
more chances after that.
what I will say, I mean, I'm
How he
only
didn't get a hat trick.
yeah, no, God, I'm only basing it on one game. You know, really, but he is really good, isn't he? He's really.
But
good.
you can just see, because I mean, even by the end of the game, you could see he wasn't blown out of his arse as much as he had been
You're
the
right,
week
aye.
before. He's now starting to get a few minutes on the pitch, starting to get an understanding. But his work rate, his
It's
movement,
not just that, the way he was bringing them players into the game. He was flicking that over his head every
How-
single time, just
yeah.
like that, every time.
Unbelievable.
it's just a shame he didn't have somebody decent up next to him to get onto him.
See, I don't think Perez was that bad. First half, I don't think he was that
what
bad.
Did he
to be honest with you.
what did he
I-
actually do?
So
I would
he said
agree
he
with
helped in one of the goals, didn't he?
No.
He was involved in one of the plays for the goal.
he
I'm
wasn't.
not sure if it was first or second. And I don't think
no.
he was as bad as what people are making.
Well, he-
He's a massive
What did he do?
improvement to
What
what we
did he
have
do?
seen.
Well, I said a few times in the first half, I thought he was very good at linking the play from time to time. But the reason why he was better was because he wasn't fanning on with the ball and then just losing it.
That's because he wasn't getting it.
Quick touch and he was just playing out wide. He was keeping it moving. He played that pass to Kennedy, the one you were talking about, you know, that lovely move.
Yeah.
And he was looking the other way and he kind of just give it to Kennedy, who was in bad touch. But he still needs to do a lot more. He still needs to do a lot more. But I
was an
honestly
improvement.
I thought it was.
It was an
I
improvement.
thought it was.
Do you think a lot of these players now that they've seen these substitutes who you wouldn't expect to come in are quite worried, thinking if these can just walk into this team now and put what we would say our key
Perez
players
should be.
under pressure, then the rest of the players must be thinking, hang on a second, like I need to up my game.
Shelby needs to be majorly worried
Because
because
even Diarmi, I think Diarmi upped his game massively.
But
He didn't
again,
do
like
anything exceptional.
we sat
but
and said, but people have been slagging him off, saying he was the worst player on the
towards the
pitch
end of the game, he started losing the ball quite a lot.
But
I
he
think
was,
it was
again, he was knackered.
He was
just
because
knackered.
he was breaking everything up.
Hence
He
why
just
I think Caden came on just to
Yeah,
just
yeah,
try
it
and
was a
control
great-
it a bit.
Well, we'll get to the subs. But
He's-
no,
when he can just do what you want him to do, intercept the ball, break things up,
The easy stuff.
pass it off, give it the key to go and create. That's when he's at his best. That's when he looked brilliant alongside Shelby
Yeah.
because he allowed Shelby just to then get forward, create things.
I think you knocked the knee on the head last week when I think it was you, Deka. You said, I can't remember, it might be you. The problem which we have at Shelby at the minute, when he first signed, he wasn't getting man marked. He could do whatever the fuck he wanted. When we went to the championship, he had two players on him, which ended his game completely. He had to start picking the balls left, right, and centre, and he was dropping deep for them. Seeing Keane now, that's obviously what Shelby was brought in to do.
Yeah.
Shelby's never got out of that mould since the championship. He's
what
been
I said,
stuck in that mind frame, hasn't he?
He's a quarterback. He got
Yeah.
labelled a quarterback.
It's
and
like
he
what
can't
Kabay
get out of
started
it.
doing, he
Can't
didn't
get
use-
out of it. It gets deeper and deeper and
Yeah.
deeper.
As I say, for me, he passes sideways too often, whereas Key is constantly looking forward.
The only
And that's
problem
what's
I
getting on
have
the front
with
foot.
Shelby at times is when he loses the ball, like you see his shoulders go down, his head
Oh,
drops.
he's a moody little get.
His pass doesn't get put through to where he wants to do, he does go and huff off a player.
Yeah.
If the ball doesn't go to his feet, if a player knocks it about that far away,
He does
from
this
where he's
like
standing, he goes,
bow thing.
A little-
Ah,
does
yeah,
this,
yeah,
then,
you're right.
then he just turns himself around like
That's
that,
right, you're right.
and he starts running, and like
That's
the ball's
what-
already in the half.
I don't want to make it a bashing on him. Like,
Oh, no.
I really like him, and I've sat here and said, I always said he was our best footballer in terms of like being able to see a passing, but he definitely has dropped. His performances are getting worse.
Do you think he got too comfortable?
100%, and I think that happens to a lot of players.
I think with Perez.
I think it's happened to Lascelles. I'll be
Yeah,
honest with you.
yeah,
I
I
think
probably
Lascelles is
agree.
probably, as I'm captain, I'd walk in this team. you need players like Key and Shaw to kind of say
You need that competition.
Rafael drop anyone,
And that's why you need
you
need a squad, and that's
So
what
cells in training.
Benitez has been trying to do. He's been trying to put a squad together to challenge people in the positions to maintain your levels.
I said something, and it came across really bad actually. You know, when you went about Key, you thought Key had been the man that's changed everything. That's why he didn't touch the ball 25 minutes. I was joking there. What I meant was in the second half, Bournemouth had a lot of the ball, like a lot, and Key never touched it for never done anything for a long period. And I was starting to get worried that this sometimes happens to Shelby, that the game passes him by. When we're flowing going forward, Shelby's looking great. Oh, he's amazing. But then when we start to really need to get this ball back, Shelby for me just always disappears.
And that's when Diarmi needs to step up and start breaking things up. And
what worried me in the second half is that you saw their back line just stepped up and they were almost sat on the halfway line. The further they stepped up, rather than us closing them down, we just started dropping back and just inviting that pressure. We got counter-attacks out of it.
Because of Rondon.
Yeah.
Because of
But
Rondon.
those counter-attacks, we just didn't bury them. So Perez had a chance.
Well, actually,
Rondon had a chance.
he
He got saved, to be fair.
Perez's chance, that came directly from them scoring in stoppage time. So they went 2-1, then scored in the 40th.
Then we had another chance straight after that.
And then Perez had a chance immediately after.
the good thing for me though with that chance with him was
Perez
is he smashed the ball, which
I'll give you that one.
He never does.
He tries to
so I
place
was
it,
happy that he actually did that he actually put his boot through it and tried to put it in the back of the net rather than, because what he normally does is just bloody pass it back into the keeper's hands. So although he missed the target, at least he tried to
I've got to
whack
give
it in.
Bournemouth credit here though, because every single counter attack they got back so quick. Their defenders were so fast at getting back. So if it was one of us on
They're a
goal,
fast
next
team.
minute
They
there's two
are
players
the
with
quick
them.
team.
the quick team.
I mean, and again,
And their keeper.
you look at
Good saves.
you look at their team, right, and they were reading it out before the game, and I was like, what the hell? Like
It's
some
like
of the names, I was like,
isn't it?
we keep getting labelled. Our own fans labelled championship team, which is championship team. I'm sorry, but they were.
We sat and said it. They're not no household names.
Gosling was on, man. Dan Gosling was on.
Do you not think other?
I liked him when he was.
So if he
was very, very slow.
If he was playing centre
and
midfield for us
immobile,
now,
but he was a very good passer of the ball.
if he was playing for us now, right, I'm telling you, man, people will be going, Rafa's got to put it with Dan Gosling in the midfield. Yeah. He would be the target man of we need to spend more money.
The thing is
he's rocking up for them.
With him, he's that type of player that if he's got the time and space in the middle of the park, he can hurt you.
To be honest
he can
with
pick
you,
the
I
pass.
didn't even realise he played until the second half.
He never touched the. I know he came on
the second half.
as a sub second half.
That's probably why.
I was happy he came on.
He never got the ball. To be fair,
I was happy
never
he
got the
came
ball
because I thought Diarmi on mince him out. No bother. But anyway, sorry, not to talk about Bournemouth too much, but Dubravka's save. Dubravka did a couple of saves. One he did bang on half time, and unfortunately just scored direct from that corner.
Yeah.
What a save!
That was a hell of a save, wasn't it?
What a save!
They had the
that was the only thing that troubled me though. Really, from them was set pieces.
They had the free kick early on
corners
as well,
and free
didn't they?
kicks. That's
And he tipped it
because
out.
they're a big side.
Them were clever because the amount of times they got in wide areas, and immediately their reaction was, "I just knocked off you for a corner." They didn't want to cross.
Second half must have about 20 corners, man.
They were just happy to knock it off us for a corner.
They were absolutely in. I looked after the game, which I hadn't realised, is they've scored a lot of their goals this season have came from set pieces, and you can see why after that.
Yeah. And obviously, I mean, when they conceded, were you like? Because I was like, oh no, we've had the best 45 minutes.
So I missed it. I missed their goal.
Right. It's a loopy horror.
I thought the stop at time was run down. I thought now we'll be Harry. We'll just keep clearing it. And obviously
the thing was
from it.
You would expect somebody on the front post to
it was a bad goal to concede. Obviously with how low down he won that header. You think just take his head off there.
Well, he ran and got in front of everybody and just.
It was Key. I think it was Morton, wasn't it?
But
if I remember right, I'm sure it was Key.
Why isn't somebody, because Rondon played after that, was there at the front, taking the role that Shearer used to always do, being there at the front and getting getting the head on it.
Shouting at Rondon, hear him physically going, shouting his name to come and stand there, obviously for that exact reason. But I mean, it was the best first half.
I think it fills you full of hope that we did concede, and like you said, Perez was straight up the pitch, almost scored. Then we had another chance straight after that. Yeah. Heads didn't go down. I know we're still a goal up.
God, their keeper made a hell of a save off one of our free kicks. It was Key whipped it in, and I think it was one of their defenders headed it.
Yes,
it was going to go in there. What a save that was!
He made some
There
great
was still
saves.
lots of chances.
Rondon. He made a great save of Rondon.
Like I say, I don't know how he did.
It's the one where the referee gave a goal kick
Oh,
Then everyone started kicking off.
aye.
And the linesman overruled
The
him.
Gallagher basically told him
Yes.
to give a corner.
You went, well, the Gallagher started laughing at the ref.
Aye, did he? Aye.
I didn't see it. See, that's your fucking job, mate.
I'll quickly move on. Another chance Rondon had was, I think it was Shaw again, played a lovely ball down the line. Richie took one touch and just like half volleyed it in, and Rondon was between the two defenders and he headed it. He was only 6 yards out. It just went past the post.
Yes,
Like,
aye.
like there's another chance. He had a one-on-one later on in the game.
Just didn't quite get enough on the
Yes,
on the head.
aye.
How
I'm not
didn't bag
criticising.
3 is beyond me. Like,
I'm not criticising him for not scoring them. I mean, if it was Joselu, people would be going mental. He should have scored them, but what I love is he's in that area,
he's-
man.
he's
He's
in the
in
right
there all
he
the
gets
time.
the chances, doesn't he?
Aye, he does,
If he'd have
does.
been an inch further forward, or
Yeah.
he was an inch taller, that was a goal.
Because he's so big, he's like almost like the ball's a bit of a magnet. Like when it comes in that area,
It's like I was saying, if you're a defender, you will not want to play against him.
No, 100% not. Like no.
But then I worry, I don't want to be negative, but then I worry if he gets injured.
Well, you're done.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're back where you were again.
Yeah.
Because Joselu, look at that overall performance by Rondon. I can't remember a better performance by a striker for us. I can't remember one. Maybe you might go back to Denmark Bar, but you're still talking 10 years ago or something. And Joselu can't come on.
I'm going to say it again, aren't I?
What's he going to say?
Mitrovic against Leeds. Oh,
Aye,
stop
but
saying his name tonight.
I know, but that's championship.
Doesn't he play for
though.
Wenham?
Mitrovic against Norwich when he came on.
Preston.
Aye, but you kind
Play
of.
for Wenham.
It's different levels,
Aye,
isn't
it
it?
is,
Different
yeah.
levels.
But if you lose Rondon, you've got Joselu, and Joselu, God, whatever people think of him, he cannot do that role that Rondon's doing, and that's not Joselu's fault. He just can't do
He
that.
can
you know?
hold the ball up, be that link man.
It's a
there
different
and
way
stuff
that he
like
holds the
but
ball up, though, isn't it?
Who? Rondon.
Between Rondon and
He
Joselu.
holds it up, having
'Cause
with
Joselu's
his
quite
back-
lightweight, isn't
back
he?
to goal, whereas Rondon was looking to flick it on and looking for
A
runners
move.
and stuff like that and go.
Because he's intelligent. I'm not saying Joselu's thick, but what I'm saying is Rondon's intelligent, though, isn't he? As you're saying, he wins a header, but there's a purpose to why he's winning it. When Joselu wins one, he's just thinking, mint me head's at
Which
that.
is why I'd
Is
like
it-
to see this combination of Rondon and
Rondon and
Mutu,
Mutu, 100%.
because if he's flicking those balls on,
Mutu's
I think
gonna be
Mutu's going to
winning.
graft out his ass to get
Absolutely.
every single one of those
Absolutely.
balls.
I totally agree. Honestly.
And that's why
I'm excited to see this
Yes.
partnership, and I hope something doesn't happen. Like, we've only seen them one game.
Half of a game, yeah.
We've
Do
only seen
we
them
know
half of a
how
game.
long the injury is for Mutu? Or I don't know.
No, I've never really seen
there's
anything
been
mentioned.
nothing.
Obviously, we've got a
that
week
wasn't
break.
until
In regards to
Thursday or
injuries,
Friday last week that,
that
came out,
week
was it?
breaks probably came at a good time. In regards to confidence, I wish we had been going in that game.
I think you said this before.
We're on separate levels with this whole.
Yeah, I'm
whole
always
break
alright with
thing,
it.
aren't you?
I think I'm sure Rafa said it as well. I think getting a win going into the national break is huge because obviously a defeat can be a long lasting
You're not dwelling
feeling.
on a defeat, yeah.
Aye, so good luck.
The thing is, there's going to be a lot of them are going to go away on international duty.
Yeah.
Even though we've got a lot of internationals.
I
Remember,
hope Rondon isn't gone. He's not gone anyway, is he? Oh,
He will be.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
no, is it not the Nations League?
they might have a friendly though because it's international.
Yeah.
He could be playing in anyway.
Jesus, he's going to go somewhere, isn't he?
Oh, good.
He's going to be jet lagged.
He's not. He can't. He won't. There's no way that he can drop him after.
No, I don't think he'll drop him, but you might get
No,
injured.
rest-
or
yeah,
you
something
just don't
like
want
that.
any
Man,
injuries.
don't.
You just
Don't even say it.
You know, in terms of the second half, after the first, I was like, I thought, there's going to be a lot more goals in this game. I cannot believe there wasn't any more. Like,
It wasn't for the one to try.
and that's a fair comment.
Keep us
Yeah,
control the game, didn't it?
It was an enjoyable game.
it really was.
I think even the fact that we're on first on match of the day
For
that
a
night
neutral,
shows
that
you
would
how
have been a great game
entertaining it
to
It
was.
was really exciting.
If that had been
Just
live,
wasn't
it would
it?
have been people would have loved it
was
because it was end to end.
But like I say, at half time, I don't think anyone would have bet that there wouldn't have been any more goals. In
That's
that
what I was
second half.
meaning. I said that there's no way there's not going to be another goal here, because the first half.
And I
could be any
thought
score.
I thought we'd be getting them. I honestly thought Rondon was going to score a hat trick.
Now I remember Shaw's tackle. Now I said to Penn straight away. I
Oh
said,
yeah, it's a penalty all day long, I think.
But then
See, I see it from because
I said penalty.
I'm bang on in line with it and watching it at the time.
I said no pen at the
It's
time.
absolutely not because he kind of
He chucked
what it
himself in
looked like
front of
is
the
he
ball, didn't he?
played
And then
he played the ball and kind of then followed through. But it wasn't until you seen the replay slowed down and stuff like that it actually.
it's a penalty
he
all day
probably
long,
took them
but it's
both at
about
the same
time we
time.
start getting some
Oh
luck.
no, I'm not.
It's
Yeah,
only the other way around, isn't
I'm not
it?
trying.
You
to,
can see why the referee hasn't gave it. There's not a hope in hell at that time. I thought that was a penalty.
It's a very, very, if it was given, it's a very soft pen. And I hate it when players are going away from goal, they've got no control of the ball, and the referee will give a penalty. Because I think they weren't anywhere near the goal, they're not going to score. Understand if it's a goal scoring opportunity that they're going to miss, but that
it
wasn't, was it?
edge of the box.
Oh no, I agree.
The ball's
I agree.
gone out.
I just think
Yeah.
as a defender, as any player, sorry, you've got to just be a bit more wise that. You can't really go in at all because if you do, you're given
Yeah.
the chance for the
Having
player to
said
go,
that,
you know what I mean?
if it was the likes of someone like
Murray.
the top teams, not even the top teams like some Man U, Chelsea,
Ah,
Arsenal,
yeah, be a
Liverpool,
pen,
if they do this and go down,
If Hazard
that's a
went down,
penalty
it's a pen.
all day long.
It is.
They go down differently though, don't they?
Yeah. They're
It's
trained
they
better.
trick the referees, don't they?
Trained
They
better.
trick the referees, but it was a penalty, so we've got
To
to
be
go
fair,
with that.
they're
So it'll be 1-1.
anticipating the tackle coming in before it's
Well, they
happened.
did equalise at one point, which got overruled. When that went,
Oh,
in,
that was
oh,
mile.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
you could see that was
That
a mile off
save
of that.
That
though.
was.
That save from Dubravka got no credit because if Dubravka hadn't have made that save, that would have been a goal.
Yes.
But he dove back to clawed out of the goal, if you like. Then them scored and he was offside. That save was unbelievable. It was
He's great, man.
It was unbelievable.
Each week he just gets better and better.
Well, he started a bit ropey. I think we all sat and says I didn't think his distribution was as good. But on Saturday, I felt, hey,
He started throwing the ball out of points, didn't he?
He did. He got the ball, just passing it. Just brilliant, man. And again,
But he's got somebody
so
to target now because even his goal
He
kicks,
has, yeah, he has, yeah.
he was like every goal kick was going up onto Rondon for a flick on to bring it down and stuff like that.
Did
There's only
you
a
see
couple of
the,
times where their defender won the ball.
the second half, I can't remember when exactly, but Shaw had it on the right hand side, and one lad tried to put like pressure on him, like ran towards him, and he just
Turned inside of him.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then he hit that ball. Oh.
Was that towards the right
I
wing?
think that was the
so
right
where's
way.
where I sit,
Yeah.
like, do you know
I
what
thought
mean?
it was about the fourth time I came during that
Oh,
match.
hey. I just went,
It
hey,
was
this
like,
kid's a road.
I was just
Unbelievable. He's
it?
amazing, man. Honestly, Lascelles would have been Dubravka. He just
Real, wasn't it?
He just went, no, I see you, it's fine.
Milburn stand,
That's right,
and then
yeah.
he just turned.
Just amazing.
The kid just went,
I
flew
see,
past him,
aye.
turned, head up, bang.
My highlight of the game
Oh.
when the kid was down injured. Strange injury.
Yeah.
Strange injury.
Oh, the one where he went to take the free
Yeah,
kick.
just strange injury.
his
He
legs
tend to kick the
snapped
ball, and obviously his legs
So
just gone.
watching that, I thought
kicked
I
the
thought what he's
kicked
done
him.
is
I thought Richie kicked him.
because Richie just went to block it. So I
Yeah,
thought,
from
his angle,
he's
yeah.
followed through and like as if, oh look, he's kicked this, which you could see he was miles away and he went down. I was like, is he kicked? I was getting off it. Like,
I was
is
as
he
well,
kicked me
yeah.
again down like that?
Yeah,
Like
I think everyone was.
claiming that he kicked his foot or something like that.
Poor bloke, though.
But my highlight of that is when the players are just kicking the ball between each other.
Oh, and then run
And then Nick the ball start playing.
was
Hey,
That was funny.
Right, so does anyone else anything to add to this?
Yeah, quickly. Substitutions from Rafa were absolutely brilliant. Brilliant
Right.
substitutions.
At what point did you realise what formation are we playing? When
What-
Atsu came on, I was
Oh, well,
no
this,
idea.
this was
I
it.
was no idea.
This is why I was so happy. Oh, I was so
So I
happy.
honestly thought he would have taken off Kennedy first for the substitution.
Okay.
Because of he'd been moping around and stuff like that and looking over at the bench and so then when he took off Richie I was like a bit
Did Clark
That's a
come on
bit
for Richie?
strange.
It all made sense to me.
Did Clark come on
it
for
did
Richie?
eventually but not with that first substitution I was
So-
like what's
The second he made that substitution, I was like, finally, because that means that Yedlin can just concentrate
Bob
on the right-hand side of, because to mark number 11, because 3 at the back then meant Yedlin didn't have to come in
Yeah.
to mark this imaginary
Yeah,
player he kept thinking was there. So that would mean 3 at the back, then Yedlin could just stay where he was. Then when he had, I thought, right, you've got Hayden and Diarmi can just be sitting in front of that back 5, if you like, in a way, demolish anyone that comes near you. And then when he brought Atsu on was the one for me, because I thought then, Atsu's just got a free role.
Atsu had a decent chance as well, didn't he?
It's just as soon as you come on, basically Atsu was just there to cause trouble really and just keep hold of the ball and run with it. And he
pace
did it
on the
straight
break
away.
when they're
And
tired.
Don't give him a position, just let him float around and cause
Did
trouble.
Clark have a chance as well?
Perfect. He bombed on
Sure he
at
did.
one
Yeah,
point.
I'm sure he had a chance at one point.
corner or something like that?
Can't remember.
I just loved that formation towards the end. I really did. I just thought because he gave license. I'd love to see Kennedy in that role where Atsu came on us.
Even
just let him play wherever he
Haven
goes.
was running about like, he was running about like a headless chicken at times, like. But
But you
he
know,
was still.
He popped up in their box a couple of
he
times
made
as
a
well.
very good defensive header later on, like which was he had to be brave.
Mm.
And when a player wants to leave, sometimes he wouldn't go for that.
Yeah.
But he did in fairness to him, so you got to give him credit.
He definitely put yourself back in the not the good books but the better books with
When you
his-
think of it, when you look at the bench on Saturday,
Shocking.
you've only got
Shocking
Hayden's
bench.
the only centre midfielder we've got at the club. Because Shelby's obviously out.
injured,
You've
man.
only got Hayden. You know what I mean? It's
Looking at
like,
the bench, it makes you worry though, doesn't it?
oh, of course it does, because you're one injury away from being back to feeling so
Yeah.
doom and gloom again. But it was amazing.
Positive.
I was
Great
absolutely
great
over the moon.
performance, great
Brilliant,
3
man.
points.
Atmosphere was class.
Puts
as
a
well, by the way.
14th.
again
Atmosphere was
Again.
class, and we
Yeah.
talked about that. It was brilliant. I
Yeah.
thought this week as well.
It was.
Really good.
See, and it's no surprise to me that the team's performance lifts when the off the pitch is lifted.
Well, they've
vice
got-
versa, when they're doing well on the pitch, it makes us do well off the pitch.
No, I agree.
And even Rafa had it in the program talking about the unity and everybody together, really fighting for it.
But
And
that's
all
just
of that
that's
kind
just
of thing.
what do the people say it is? It's just he's been told to say that.
I don't think Rafa would ever say anything someone's told him to do.
Of course he wouldn't, man.
You can't say that
about
you
certain
cannot
people.
look
I
at
think Rafa's
those
far
two
from that.
games and just say,
I hate when people say
on and off the pitch, everybody just...
You know what I liked?
pull in the right direction.
Recent comments, how Lascelles was saying Mike Ashley's a nice guy. We spoke about it not long ago. Rafa was asked a question about Lascelles' comments, saying he's a nice guy. Rafa turned around, he's only met him once.
Oh, yeah.
It's fantastic, that,
Brilliant. But there was just a really good feel factor throughout, and obviously winning, of course.
It's mad what 2 wins can do, isn't it?
It is.
That's how I just needed that.
Looking back against
look,
that defeat
bit
against
of look.
Brighton, you look back at that and you couldn't see a win coming, could you?
No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't.
So now 2 wins on the bounce. Obviously, the next handful of games are decent.
It just
games
gives
as
everybody
well.
a real lift and
the other thing is
warm feeling.
We're not winning the games playing crap.
Yeah.
We're actually, I can honestly, and I'm the first person to say we always play shite. I've said this for years, but I actually
Seeing
feel
that, I think
we've been playing
we're
well.
very, I wouldn't say lucky,
but
against Watford, that could have went either way because the chances they had, they
that's
were
very
poor at
true.
finishing.
But
that's what we've missed.
We are what we are. The one we're never going to play a game of football and just dominate, and the opposition's not going to have any chances.
Yeah.
Just unfortunately for us, you look at that Brighton game, they had one and they scored it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we just need that little bit of luck, and we're kind of getting it. But also on the back of that, we have been playing a lot better. Yeah. So it's good, really good.
Should we call it a night?
Yeah, man.
Can we not just keep talking about it?
Continue. Just
talk about it forever. It's great.
I know.
We've got question answers coming up, mate.
It's just nice to be happy once.
It is, it is.
It's amazing. I couldn't stop smelling on Sunday,
You said you were going to bring tomato sauce. You got garlic.
You got brought garlic instead.
Yeah, I've got some garlic.
Stone Cold it. Stone Cold's not drinking beer anymore.
I know, what's that about?
No idea. That squared some in your mouth.
He's probably got a heart problem or something now.
He already has been. He's been sitting there drinking it.
Oh, popped! It popped.
That was me. That was me from that Key and Kennedy pass on Saturday.
Right, thank you very much, everyone. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, help out a little bit.
Well, won you now.
Again, 2 in a row. It's 2 in a row.
Thank you.